everybody, it is me, Amber, the Glamorous Life. I am coming in here because I just want to explain to you and help you understand why it is that I've been gone for so long, why I disappear, and basically why I'm back. Basically, in a nutshell, I mean, for most of my adult life, I've struggled with major depression. Started with losing a best friend at 19 and then a major car accident in 2014. So for the last 8 years, I have been the exceptionally been the worst. Now, of course, I don't know if many of you know or understand about depression, but a lot of suffering with depression does have to do with your lifestyle. So I will be completely honest with you. My lifestyle has not been the best over the last number of years. Drinking too much, diet's not the greatest, lack of sleep, etc., etc. It goes on and on. They all play a role in being able to manage dealing with depression properly. However, that being said, you can still do all these things and still suffer from depression, and on a grand scale. So I don't want to negate anybody else's struggle that's been going through this and doing all the right things that they should be doing. But that being said, again, I still have struggled with depression. Sadly, pain from the car accident and the chronic pain and the sadness from that, how my lifestyle whole changed. Like, everything was a struggle. Everything caused me pain, and so I stopped living, and really I just prevented myself from living to my truest potential. And while I knew all these things, and while I knew that I had the power to change them, and all it took was getting out of bed one morning, all it took was not having a few drinks before I go to bed at night. Even though I knew better, I still didn't want to do those things. I still didn't want to try. I still just didn't feel like it was in me, even though I knew it, if that makes any sense at all. Even though I pride myself on being completely transparent and authentic at all times, and I don't hide things from you guys, this may or may not be the first time that you're hearing this, but it's certainly not the first time I've shared it. Now, the reason that I disappear now and again for so long is because my depression ends up overwhelming me to the point where I can't even look at other people's lives, because it just sends me down a spiral. Because whether or not you guys believe me, I too feel the same things that you do. I feel like I'm not pretty enough sometimes, and I feel like, I can't seem to have the things that I want to have, or that, people aren't hearing me. When people really listen, like, they're not listening to me. And so I just disappear, and I go into a deep, dark hole. And yeah, I live my life, and I still have fun, and I still enjoy myself here and there, but it's just really superficial. It's on the surface. Deep underneath, I'm still struggling, and I'm still hurting. And it's not that I don't want to share that with people. It's just that I don't want that to discourage somebody else. I don't want that to be something that takes them off track. If anything, I try to be a source of strength and, humor and fun and, support for my friends and for strangers all the time. So when I'm not feeling my best, like, obviously the first thing I want to do is run and hide. I just want to disappear. So that is why, you may see me gone from Instagram for so long at some periods of time, because I'm not okay. And I'm completely fine with saying that. It's completely okay to not be okay. But it's just not okay to stay there all the time, every day, all day long, if you know what I mean. Because that, in the end, it just, it suffocates you. It squeezes the soul out of you, and you become a shell of a human being. And I have felt like that for most of my life, sadly. And I don't know if the people that really truly know me, they may not really understand because I don't really share this side of things with them. What most people that know me would see, I'm super bubbly and I'm fun and I'm charming and charismatic and outgoing and all these things, and I'm funny, and I love to make people laugh and I want to have a good time. I'm always over the top, and that's part of my 0 to 100% personality. So either I'm on or I'm off, I'm in it or I'm not. So usually when I show up for my friends or go to do something, I'm usually 100%. I'm usually 110%. When I'm not around them, that's when I'm 100. That's when I'm 0. And I feel like it's better to be 0 away from them because I don't want them to end up being zeros too, if you know what I mean. But the reason why I'm coming on here today and to talk with you guys is because if it were not for God recently, I wouldn't have had this epiphany. Now, one day a long time ago, I came across a quote that said, "Someday your struggle is going to become someone else's survival guide." And it really resonated with me. It really made me feel like maybe my struggle over the number of years that I've been, dealing with this, it doesn't have to be for nothing. Maybe it can inspire somebody. Maybe it can help somebody feel like they're not alone. Now, even though I did feel that and I thought it was great and it lifted me up a bit, I put it on the back burner for a long time. And every once in a while I'd kind of be thinking about it here and there, and I've shared it with other people, as they've kind of needed it. Sorry, I'm like super expressive. I must be like Italian somewhere, but this is what I do. Lots of hands. Anyhow, but it does come full circle. It did come full circle. And I guess what I realized is that, instead of thinking that I needed to be a constant source of positivity or encouragement and only share my struggles when I'm past them, maybe just maybe, sharing my struggles while I'm going through them is what my greatest superpower can be. To face adversity and to be able to help others realize that they're not facing it alone either. So it's become so evidently clear that even though I'm not perfect and I'm struggling and I have terrible thoughts sometimes and I want out more often than not, it's okay to share those things with people because they probably feel something similar too, or they have thought that at one time. And it's easier going through life, with people than without. It's easier having people that are for you than against you. And there's always going to be people that are against you, but it's the people that for you that will help you get through managing living life with the people that are against you, or the world that feels like it's against you. So over the last couple of months, I have slowly been making changes, eating better, drinking less, sleeping more, letting go of people that don't love me the way that I love them, and most importantly, letting God. Yet, I digress. Now, recently, I did receive some of the worst health news that I've ever received in my entire life, and I will share it with you once I know a little bit more, because we're still kind of figuring out what exactly is going on. But the peace and the strength that I have received from God and from my loved ones, knowing that they're praying for me too, I still feel better and at the best I think that I have ever felt about myself in my entire life. And I know that sounds probably cliche and super fake, but it's really not. And I realize that life basically is about struggles. It's about how we go through them, how we overcome them. It's about how we band together when we are, at our lowest points. And I have basically really been thinking about how, if this is how I feel, if this is how I'm receiving this type of help and love, I need to give that too. And while I do that anyways, even without being through some of these struggles, I realize that I want to do it on a grander scale. I want to encourage people that I don't really know. and that are on the other side of the screen and other side of the world and stuff like that. I want you guys to not feel alone. I want you guys to know that it's okay to not be okay, and that one day you're gonna be okay. But it's okay to not be okay. Like I said, it's okay to be exactly where you are right now, because what I've learned is that being where you are right now is preparing you to be where you need to be. It's preparing you for where you need to go, and it's going to make the end result, that journey is going to make the end result so much more incredibly sweeter than it could have been if we just skipped all of this stuff, if we just skipped over the struggle, if we just skipped over, the people talking behind your backs, if we just skipped over the stupid financial choices that you've made, if we just skip over, the health struggles that you've been dealing with, or, the boyfriend that cheated on you, or if we just skip over all of that and we just get to this perfect life that's just perfectly curated and you got everything you want and everything you need and you didn't have any struggle, it wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't mean anything, because you don't understand what it took to get there. You don't understand how much sweeter it feels when you've gone through these things and they put them into perspective. And your perspective is key. It changes everything. It changes absolutely everything. So I'm not going to take up too much more time, but I just want to get back out there and tell you guys I'm back. You're going to see me in a different light. I'll still be the same me, but it's just, I'm hoping you're going to see me more often. And even if you're not, I just want to promise you that I will always show up, whether or not I'm on a high or I'm on a low. I promise to always be my true authentic self, like I already am, but I promise to do it regardless, even when I'm not feeling worthy of sharing it. And I promise, no matter what I talk to you about, I will always tell you the truth the way it is. That's kind of who I am. I call myself the Tilly expert. I tell it like it is. And my friends all know that. So if you need them to vouch for me, honestly, they will tell you that. Amber always tells the truth and tells it like it is. And lastly, I promise that if you ever need someone to reach out to or pray for you, or just be someone to hear you, really truly listen, I will do my absolute best to be there for you. Because like I said, at the end of the day, the only way that we're going to get through life is knowing that we're just not alone, and that there are people that are for you, not against you. So just know that I'm for you guys. I'm all for you guys. Whoever you are, whoever's listening to this message, I'm for you guys every step of the way. So I look forward to all the new things that are going to come, and I want to bring you along on that journey, whether it be good or bad. You're going to get everything. Yes, and also I am half black. So, but saying that, I am the whitest half black person you will ever meet. So, I'm going to take it out when I need to. Anyhow, thanks guys for listening. If there's any comments you have or any questions you have, please don't hesitate. I will do my best to get back to every single one of you. Thank you so much. I love you. God bless. Bye.